I just don't handle internally medical situations that are new to me very well.
I'm not sure if there's anything else she could give you.
Your call is important to us. Please continue to hold for the next available care team member.
My fear is I'm not being taken seriously.
I was about to scrub in.
Scrub in, please. And I was just looking for answers for the procedure and what they usually do. The waiting is like the hardest part. I just feel so...
Oh, me too.
And hello everybody, it is Dingle here and welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are doing super duper well. And in today's video, I finally have an update to share with you regarding getting our freaking uterine polyp removed. If you didn't see the saline ultrasound vlog where we found out about this stinking freaking polyp, I will leave that link down below. But basically they found a polyp, so we know that there's at least one in there. But the next steps for us to take were to schedule a procedure with my regular OB before we could even think about anything having to do with next steps for our second embryo transfer. This thing was in our way. And in this video, I bring you through the unexpected saga of what it took to actually get that scheduled, and honestly the fear and anxiety that comes with a new procedure that I am not familiar with and I don't have a lot of experience with. And through the comments and messages that I receive from you all, I know that this part of infertility and testing can be really scary for a lot of people. But before we get into that, you know what fertility testing is actually not very scary and is actually very simple? Getting our man's sperm tested. And that brings me to today's sponsor, Legacy, because I am so happy to be able to bring you guys proactive services that Jack and I did not know anything about when we were in the depths and the dark of our own fertility. And Legacy could not make this process more simple, because 73% of hopeful fathers have no idea about their sperm health. And if you and your partner are in the early stages of TTC or family planning, one of the absolute best things that he can do right now is to get tested. Legacy allows him to get tested from the privacy and comfort of your own home, and they will ship a collection kit directly to you. The kit is easy to use and a breeze to ship back. They conduct a full test on arrival to ensure everything went smoothly in transit, and then 1 to 2 business days later, he'll receive a detailed assessment that is easy to understand. And he'll have the option to schedule a video call with a fertility specialist to discuss his results. If his sperm passes Legacy's post-thaw analysis, they'll give you the option to store it in their top-tier cryo storage so that it's available for you should you ever need it. Many fertility clinics charge up to $1,000 a year for storage, but Legacy keeps costs low and even offers lifetime storage options for one flat rate. This kit is also HSA and FSA approved, so if you have any funds left on that nifty little card, this is the perfect way to use them. Legacy even offers information and supplements to help improve sperm health. So if you are family planning or you think you will be in the future, get as proactive with his fertility as you are with yours. You can use code MACDINGLE to get 20% off his testing kit at testlegacy.com/MacDingle. Click the link in the description to learn more and to give you and your partner a peace of mind when it comes to this insane roller coaster that is trying to conceive. And now, without further ado, on to the saga of trying to get my freaking polyps removed. Oh, hello, my friends. Good morning. So today is Monday. On Friday I had my saline ultrasound, and in the car afterwards you guys would have seen that the PA doing my procedure, who was freaking lovely, loved her so much, she called and she let me know that she put through a referral to my primary OB's office and for me to call on Monday. And so I'm gonna give them a call right now, but I just wanted to let you guys in on a little bit of my mentality the last few days as I came off of the Valium and everything like that. You guys know that I'm just not very good. I just don't handle internally medical situations that are new to me very well. Something I should probably go to therapy about, and that is definitely on the list when we stop paying these IVF bills. But this is new to me. Polyp removal and everything in between is new to me, but we're just in new territory right now. And I think the other thing, besides just the procedure itself, I think the main thing that I was kind of worried about and thinking about over the weekend is the timing of everything. Or if I can even do it this cycle right now, because I read somewhere that they like to do it within the 5 to 10 or 11 day window, just like a saline ultrasound, so they don't disrupt any ovulation processes and things, which, to be fair, is fair. 99.9% of me knows that I wouldn't be pregnant this cycle, but they don't want to do anything for that 0.1% or 1% chance of someone going through infertility to disrupt that. But again, I don't know for certain what this office likes to do as far as the timing of that. I came out in the kitchen on Sunday, and expressed this to Jack, and he was just like very calming, as he always is, as you guys know he is. And he's like, you know, there is literally nothing that you can do about this right now. The only thing that you can do is call, schedule, and ask your questions. And I'm like, you're right. Like, I don't have control over the timeline of my body right now. I don't have control over their availability in the office right now. And I also don't have control over my insurance and what they need to approve a transfer cycle in general. Literally don't have control over those things, no matter how much I push and plead and, you know, think about and be anxious about it. I don't have control over those things. And in the end, that's actually very calming, that there's nothing that I should be doing that could move this in a different direction or anything like that. So just wanted to fill you in. I also just get very nervous about calling about these things, and I know I'm not alone in that. When I have something that I'm nervous about calling, I literally have a list of questions, but you can kind of see that there is a list going on my phone right now. I'm gonna go in the other room to do this though.
If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911 or your local emergency service. Calling regarding an existing referral, please press 3.
I don't know if I reached the right line, but you can tell me. My fertility clinic sent over a referral on Friday, and they encouraged me to call to set the procedure up with you all, since it might be time sensitive. So that's why I'm calling.
So you need to have a procedure done at...
They said yes. It's for a uterine, I believe, a polyp. I have a polyp in there, and I need it removed to move forward with an embryo transfer.
If they just sent something on Friday, it's probably still in a fax inbox. It takes a few days because we get thousands of faxes every day. So it takes a few days before it actually gets in your chart typically, but and it's not something that I do outgoing referrals. I don't do the incoming.
Oh, okay.
I just want to look and see if maybe it might be in your chart, and if it is, I can transfer you over to the Women's Health Department.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. What's your date of birth? I don't see anything yet. I mean, like I said, we might have it, and it's just sitting in the fax inbox.
Okay.
I mean, I can transfer you to Women's Health, but I don't know if they can help you without that fax or not.
Okay.
But I'll transfer you over anyway. You can just explain to them, and then that way maybe they can just be on the lookout for it.
Okay, yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Your call is important to us. Please continue to hold for the next available care team member.
I think half of the struggle with like calling offices is like, one, hoping you get a nice person, whom that woman was lovely, but like figuring out their process and like who to call and like what it means for a referral to be sent over, and like sitting in their fax Netherlands of sorts is figuring out what that exists and things is hard to understand, because obviously we don't work there. Figuring out these things is always comforting, just so I know like the process of things and what they're waiting for and things like that.
Office.
Hi, thanks for calling.
Hey, absolutely. So she did clarify that she did mean the procedure room here on the 9th floor without the anesthesia, but she would send in Ativan for you. So she did clarify that. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm just going to send the message to her nurse, because she's best at navigating doctor's schedule.
Okay.
She will be here tomorrow, and she'll have some time that she can work on getting you scheduled. So you should hear from her tomorrow with a date and time for the procedure.
Okay, fantastic. And can I ask you a question about, is it called Ativan?
Yes.
Is it like I only have experience with Valium. Is it similar to that?
Let's see here. So I guess for Valium, it's like a longer lasting effect.
Okay.
As opposed to the Ativan. So that's likely why she would prefer the Ativan, just because, you know, it would mostly be needed for the procedure, and the procedures typically don't take any more than an hour.
Okay.
It's a fairly quick procedure.
Okay, and Ativan, like, it relaxes me. Is it a muscle relaxer? Like, it'll put me in a chill state?
Yes, it should.
Okay.
It's definitely used to, you know, relieve anxiety.
Okay.
And calm you down a little bit for the procedure.
Okay, and I'm sure I can ask more questions with her and her nurse and things too if I have them, but I think I'm nervous to not have any sort of sedative with something like this. There's nothing that she can give me like within the room to make me just not as aware. It sounds like a really awful procedure.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything else she could give you, but I can definitely include that in the message and can discuss with her once it's scheduled to see if there's anything else for sure.
Okay, yeah, just any sedative sort of thing would be so appreciated, but sounds good. We can, I'll wait for a call tomorrow too.
But definitely with the Ativan, you will need someone to give you a ride to and from the appointment as well.
Okay.
Just so you are aware of that. But yeah, I will get this message over to her and I'll have her follow up with you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, bye-bye. The thing is, with the videos that I was watching, the patient is either like out, or they're just like super sleepy during it, and like I at least want to be super sleepy, so I'm glad that they're putting in a note about like anything else they can give me for it, because they're literally going, oh, I can already feel my anxiety. They're literally like going in with a camera and like a shaver. At least they're giving me some sort of anxiety medication, so I just won't feel like this going into the office for the procedure. I just feel like a lot of times we're not taken very seriously when it comes to like the pain and discomfort that comes with procedures. I just want to be as comfortable as possible during this, and since a doctor will be doing it, I don't see why they can't give me something to make me sleepy for it. So I don't need to be knocked out completely, but I just need something. I was told that I could be pretty sedated during it by my clinic, who has gotten to know me and like what makes me most comfortable, but it just sounds like I'm just gonna get Valium, which is like, that's fine, like a Valium-esque type of thing. My fear is I'm not being taken seriously, and I think that's like a fear that a lot of people do have, so I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. I'm just calling. I was actually going to call you, and then I got your portal message too, so that's great. It's all related to that. So.
Fantastic. Are you Dr. Nurse? I don't know if I've spoken to you before.
Yes, I am. I think I left you a message, and then you've called back and talked to some other people.
Got
so
you. Okay, yeah. Great. Awesome.
Perfect. Yeah. So, what I was going to call you about initially, Doctor, I sent her a message this morning saying, like, letting her know that you were looking for something additional or seeing what other options might be available in addition to Ativan. And to answer your question, like, Ativan is considered like a mild sedative as well, so it's like helps with anxiety, but kind of like,
okay.
What is an option for our procedure room where we don't have like an anesthesia tech or anything? That kind of is along those lines.
Okay.
She also said that, and also related to your question too about a block for your cervix, she can offer a paracervical block, so that's a lidocaine that's injected directly into your cervix to help with discomfort there specifically.
Okay. Great.
So that's a pretty common. We don't always do it, but it is very common to do. So we can put that on the list of things.
Okay. Yeah, that would be amazing. And does that help with, like, I'm new to all of this type of thing.
Yeah.
Does that help with like intense cramping with things going through the cervix? Is that generally
exactly?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it helps. Of course, like it's direct to the cervix, so not something once it helps with the dilation that will take place of your cervix, and then passing the scope through your cervix, and then there will be still some cramping and discomfort because of in your uterus, which won't have that lidocaine in it, but that does help the majority of the pain of like starting that procedure.
Okay.
Usually is very helpful for
Fantastic. People. And do and with that and the like anxiety medication, do I like in my head, just to be completely like honest, I just like I see myself on the table like writhing in pain just to get through the procedure. Are people comfortable during this? Like it seems like such an intense thing, like taking a polyp out of my uterine wall, but I'm awake. Like what?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot. It definitely does. Everybody's a little bit different. Some people are like, you're always going to have a little bit of discomfort because of just the nature of what it is.
Okay.
But some people that we have, which you can do this or not, but we have like the monitor that doctor's looking at to see what's going on. Like some people are interested in watching that and are like totally comfortable to do so.
Okay.
Some people are a little bit more uncomfortable, but having the Ativan and the block on board will help with a lot of that. And then she said, so like ibuprofen can, if you take that before you come in, that's helpful as well because that's really effective with cramping.
Okay.
But we can also do an injection of an NSAID called ketorolac, and it's a little like if you don't take it prior, that's something that we can offer in the office.
Okay.
Acts a little bit quicker too.
Okay, got you. Just to note, so I am definitely allergic to ibuprofen, so that's something I wanted to make sure was just like noted everywhere and anywhere. But I'll take Tylenol before if that's okay with these other things.
Yes, that is definitely fine, considering you can't do the ibuprofen, definitely.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Already talking to you, I feel a lot better, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think it will feel less intimidating to be able to do it for you in our procedure room because it's just right on our floor. It's not anesthesia and not all the surgical people.
Perfect.
It'll be a smaller crowd. It'll be Dr. myself and one other nurse. So it's just. And then you and your support person, of course.
Okay, so my support person can be in that room too?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, so I'm going to be working on finding the time to get this scheduled today. And maybe Monday if I have to check with Dr. She's not in the office today, but early next week you should hear back from us with scheduling, okay?
Perfect. Sounds great.
Does it feel like I answered your question?
Yes, it does. Okay. Thank you so much.
Great. Of course, not a problem. Great, so I'll be back in touch with you in the next few days, at the beginning of next week, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Have a great weekend.
I just feel so...
Oh, me too.
Baby! I was so scared.
I know, Hippo.
Oh.
Hippo. The weekend is going to be so relaxing for me.
I feel like things that people don't see are like the anxious person's partner. And if they're so caring, like the burden they carry as well. How do you feel? Yeah.
I'm going to go back on my data call.
Okay. Thank you, darling.
I got you.
Jack literally dropped his phone call voluntarily. Like I could have taken that phone call like totally by myself and I would have told him everything after. But he was waiting for that as well. Oh my gosh. That's him in the background if you guys can hear him. And I look like how I feel right now. You know when you just see like life drained from somebody's eyeballs? But my mom was over last night to drop off Chinese food. Actually, our favorite Chinese food place is in Massachusetts, and when she goes to get her hair done, she picks up Chinese food for her and dad and asks if we want any, so she dropped some off for us. So I was like, that was so delicious. Anyway, I digress. So she was over last night, and last night was just like the brunt of it. I had talking to 2 different people that just did not seem very knowledgeable, which is not to their fault at all. I just didn't know who I was talking to. I was told that the line that I was getting connected to was the nurse's line, but after my experience with my fertility office nurse, it just didn't seem like those people were willing to or could answer the questions like my fertility doctor nurse that I am used to. And I was just looking for answers for the procedure and what they usually do, and I was told that I could be slightly sedated. What does that look like? And all I kept getting was, oh, it looks like there's a note about anxiety medication. And I'm like, that's great. Like, thank you, but I am going to be like having my uterine wall like shaved. So what can I get for this? Especially since, and I don't feel comfortable like saying this over the phone because I feel like it invalidates me as a patient because I'm not a doctor, but I watch videos of people getting polyps removed. And in a lot of vlogs I've seen, there are people who were either completely under anesthesia for it or heavily sedated, like they were kind of falling asleep on the table, but they were aware. And I was like, I'm good with either one, like just knock me out or basically almost knock me out. But the answer that I kept getting from these people when I would call is that I'm like on the list for just anxiety medication. I'm like, I'm gonna be on that table fully awake and you're gonna be like sticking things through there and like chopping things off, and you're just expecting me to handle that? Like, I'm just so confused. So that's where I was at. Those are the people that I was talking to. That's the only information that I was kind of given when I was, in my mind, being very clear that I was nervous about it. I wanted to be sedated. My fertility clinic recommended that I be sedated. So then it just felt like I was fighting people to like give me the pain management and comfort that is recommended for something like this. And I'm like, are they trying to make me not comfortable? Like, it felt like I was just kind of fighting against, but in the nicest way possible. So anyway, my mom was over and she was basically saying it sounds like I wasn't talking to the right people, because in my mind I was talking to nurses, because the extension that I was told to dial was for the nursing station, the nursing section, but I just wasn't getting answers, and people were, like I said, hesitant to tell me things, and it sounds like they were Googling things about the medications. It was very not good for my anxiety at all. So like my mom was saying, it just sounded like I wasn't getting through to the right people, which is fine, but no one was telling me who could give me my answers, or telling me, you know, I am one of the admins, I'm gonna have a nurse call you back and walk you through these things. Like, it was just pauses over the phone and hesitation and all these things, and I was like, who the frick do I talk to? Like, who do I talk to? Fast forward, what we just heard was my doctor's nurse that is going to be in there with me during the procedure. It sounds like my doctor's gonna do it, Jack can be in there with me, and I just feel so much better. And I'm sharing these intimate details about just the admin side of trying to navigate these doctor's things, because sometimes this is the most stressful part, like whether it's insurance or admin stuff or approvals and all of these things. This is very stressful as well. The procedure itself is kind of scary, you know, like there's the procedure part of things, but then there's like all of this fluff in the interim and in the peripheral, that if you're experiencing it, I just want you to see that same, like, me too, girl. And I'm also learning along the way how to best advocate for myself and also how to navigate these things. And it just sounds like my mom said, it just wasn't the right people to speak to, and you can absolutely find your way to the right person to speak to just by asking for the right person to speak to in the nicest way. You have to be really nice to these people because they go through the ringer and they deal with really mean people on a like everyday basis. So just make sure you're really nice. But just so you know, I sent a message through the portal last night, and that's what she was referring to. And I specifically asked to speak to my doctor's nurse or my doctor directly, but I wasn't super hopeful. I said if they have any time at all, but they're very busy. So your doctor's nurse is the person. There's the nursing station, but that doesn't necessarily seem like the best way to go about things in some settings. So if you're not getting anywhere with those super sweet, nice individuals, ask for your doctor's nurse and then go from there. I hope this was helpful. If anything, I hope you just feel less alone in this.
What just happened?
We got scheduled for a pop removal!
We literally just opened the email. I cannot tell you. Get that freaking thing out. I'm getting my next transfer.
We're gonna get the baby blocker out.
That baby blocker needs to just ixnay. Like, get out of there.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. I feel like the most annoying patient in the entire world for following up.
No, you're not. You advocate for yourself, queen.
I was so nice in my messages. I was like, I put smiley faces. I can't wait to send a thank you back. Oh my gosh, I was literally starting to let go of the idea that we would have any procedure before Christmas to start a transfer in the new year.
Yeah.
I was completely starting to just not think that that was gonna be a thing. I can't believe, I never thought I'd be so excited about this procedure I was so anxious about like weeks ago. Oh my gosh, the delay was killing me. The waiting is like the hardest part.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Because like you're literally just waiting. So much rides on that.
Windows and months and procedures to do this and then insurance approval. I'm just like, as long as I know there's a date, I'm okay. And now I have a date.
I was about to scrub in. I was like,
Scrub in, please.
let me at it.
With your little scissors. Just like go at it.
Usually the typical way that the procedure is done is in the office, so scheduling it under anesthesia is something that usually if somebody hasn't tolerated something well that's similar to this, that we would go to that at that point. But
but it is common, like a lot of women do this awake and it's tolerable by people.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's why we do usually do it in the office. And yes, it's much faster for you. There's much less prep that you need to do. And the recovery time is faster. You get to walk out of here on your own right after it's done.
Great. And how long is everything, how long am I on the table with the procedure actually happening?
Yeah, so if everything goes as we expect, then so you come in, your appointment's scheduled for about an hour. Doctor would come in and chat with you after we get you into the room, and then usually the whole process can take anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 depending on what's going on, but that's just getting you situated in the room. And then once the procedure starts, it's usually 10 to 20 minutes, kind of getting you into the stirrups, and then doctor actually performing the procedure.
Okay, perfect. And then between my sedative and cervix numbing that I'm getting, that typically tends to like keep patients calm and like calmer than they would be, and helps with the discomfort. Is that right?
Yes, correct. Yes, so the Ativan will help with the keeping you in a good place mentally. And helping you get through it that way. And then the cervical block helps with the procedure itself, the physical discomfort.
Okay, perfect. And then if I'm on the table in a ton of pain, what is plan B? Like, is there pain medication that I can have right there in the office that you offer? Or I do have some pain medication they gave me for an egg retrieval. Should I bring that just in case? I just don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm in a ton of pain and there's nothing I can do about it right now.
During the procedure, if you start to experience unbearable pain, then doctor would stop the procedure, and that would immediately alleviate pain. So when people are experiencing a lot of discomfort, it is because of either trying to access, put the scope through your cervix and then accessing your uterus, or from the water flowing into your uterus. So once those things stop being present, then your discomfort would resolve very quickly.
Okay, got you. And then the water flowing in, would you compare that to a saline ultrasound, like the amount of water, or is it a little bit more? What would you say?
It can be more than that. Yeah, so have you had a saline ultrasound?
I have, and I tolerated it really well with the anxiety, like the slight sedative, which I didn't feel anything for that, so that's why I'm comparing it.
Good, that's a good thing to already have under your belt, because it's a similar type of thing. So it can be more water total volume, but it's water that's flowing in and out. So it's not like expanding your uterus and keeping the water in your uterus. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that totally makes sense, because it was flowing out as well during the saline ultrasound. So good. Okay, I'll hold on to that. I will hold on to that.
Yeah.
And then on that day, so I'll take Tylenol and then the Ativan an hour before, so like at 1:30. And then when I get to the office, is there something that you all will give me to dilate my cervix, or will that be just done when doctor is actively doing the procedure?
That will be done when she is doing the procedure. That's something sometimes patients who have issues with the procedure can use something to help dilate, use a prostal. I don't know if you've heard of that before, but that's not something that we would use unless there's a prior indication for it.
Okay.
So typically, doctor is able to do it as the procedure is taking place.
Okay, great. When she goes in there, so it's the thing that starts with an H, I cannot say it. What is it? Hysteroscopy. And then is this considered a hysteroscopy, like a polypectomy as well?
Yes. Yeah, okay. So since we know that there is a polyp, then yes, it's also considered a polypectomy. So it's all part of the same procedure. It's the same scope, the hysteroscope, that she uses to visualize your uterus, but then it's a tool that's inserted into the same scope that will perform the polypectomy.
Okay, fantastic. And is that automatically sent off to test to make sure it's like there's nothing bad in there, or is it more like, nope, it's out, we're good?
Yeah, it is sent for pathology always. So yeah, so we will get that information too.
Okay, fantastic. And then I think those were my questions. So thank you so much. I really appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
Yeah, I'm glad I could answer them for you.
Okay.
Yeah, great. You're asking great questions, and it sounds like you have a lot of good experience. So I think you're mentally preparing yourself well. So
okay, fantastic.
Go well. Yes, I think it really will.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, reach out if you have any further before we see you in a couple weeks. Okay.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye bye. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. I'm scared, but everything is gonna be good, and I feel that deep in my bones. Especially since I've had the saline ultrasound with a sedative and with my cervix being numb, I'm gonna go with the experience being similar to that, and if it's slightly more uncomfortable, I will be okay, because I didn't feel anything during my saline. Like, I felt really good with that. I think the sedative really helps. So, oh my gosh. Okay, I feel a lot better. I needed that mentally. I really did. She is an angel.